Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Jen Madrone, and today I want to talk about the self mastery aspect of awakening because really that's what awakening and enlightenment is all about is about mastering the self, knowing ourselves so well, knowing our true selves from a place that is so strong that it's unshakable, that we are completely grounded in our light and our authenticity so that we can share that with the people in the world around us and create from that place. But that doesn't just happen overnight. That doesn't just happen because we had a potent awakening experience. It happens over time through a lot of work. And there comes a point in the process of awakening, often many points, where we feel like, okay, I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to grow more and transform more, but I don't know how. I feel stuck. I feel like I've done a chunk of work and I'm not quite sure what that next step is. And often the next step is really diving deeper into the old programming and beliefs that have kept us stuck, that kept us feeling like we're not quite to that place of authenticity yet. And, we can do this work of identifying the old programs, whatever they are. That's really one of the big steps in the inner work of healing and transformation is just starting to see all of the ways that you limit yourself with your thoughts, with what you're telling yourself, with the dialogue running through your head, whether it's that you're not good enough, that you'll never be good enough, that you'll never have a partner, that you'll never have enough, that you know, that you're a victim of life, or that it goes on and on, that you'll never have enough money, the scarcity mindset program. And we start to dive into them and we identify and change some and feel very empowered. And then we start to realize that there's some more subtle work. There's another layer of work that's more subtle, because as we move through this process, we're peeling away the layers, and the first layers are pretty obvious. They're pretty big. They're pretty much like in our face, and we're like, oh shit, I have to deal with this big elephant in the room. And then we deal with that and we gather some tools and some understanding about ourselves. And then we get to the next level, which is a little more subtle. And the next level is a little more subtle. And it means that we have to listen more carefully. We have to watch ourselves more carefully. And we have to be like a detective to uncover those moments when we feel something uncomfortable in our body, when we feel triggered, and dive in and say, what is that? Like, oh, that's still part of that victim mentality that I thought I got rid of because it was connected to my childhood trauma, but it's still popping up in a different way, in this more subtle way. And maybe it's even connected to something else in your life. And this is the point where we often lose people in the process. This is the point where it becomes difficult to just fully face all of the little parts of ourselves that we are uncomfortable with, all of the parts of ourselves that are limiting us, because one, it takes a lot of work, and two, it's just not very much fun at first. Once we get through it, it's amazing. But so we can lose people in this part of the process because they'd rather dive into other realms of spirituality than face the really hard work of looking at yourself in the eye and being completely real with yourself and saying, yes, I still have that scarcity mindset. I still have that deep trauma that I thought I healed, but there's still a lot of grief from it, and just digging deeper and bringing the light of our awareness to that programming and bringing our compassion to it. And really what we're doing is we're identifying the pieces of ourselves that have broken off over the process of our life, and are still kind of in the outskirts. And when we identify them as programmings or beliefs or traumas, and we welcome them in to our love, to our authenticity, then we are reconnecting with who we really are, and we are reconnecting with our wholeness. We are doing the hard work of being a complete and whole and strong and healed individual. And so this is such an essential part of the process. It's one that can be really difficult to navigate because it takes a lot of focus, and it takes some patience and compassion with ourselves. But once we are really able to continually do that subtle work of watching ourselves and identifying the parts of us that are still wounded, that are still asking for attention, then we get just closer and closer to that complete freedom that we desire. Freedom from those old restrictions so that we can just fully live our purpose and live our authenticity. And so I just encourage you guys to keep doing that inner work of watching yourself without judgment and loving yourself through the process. And if you want some help and assistance moving through this part of the process, helping you shine the light and transform and transmute those old programs, then please send me a private message and we can see if the work that I do with my clients would be a good fit for you. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for doing that inner work. We are changing the world with each moment, with each time we uncover something uncomfortable in ourselves. We can take joy in the fact that we're not just changing ourselves, but we're changing the world around us. So sending you so much love. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the Facebook group.